tried to work it out. Hell, I wondered if we could. Now I'm feeling lost and so alone. Yeah, I'm bleeding, spinning way out of control. Well, you say you need your time, that you need your space. Oh, baby, I don't understand. All I got to say is, what about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about all our hopes, our plans, and all our dreams? Yeah. What about me? Yeah, I'm drinking. All the rumors are true, really sinking. In a broken heart of blue. Well, you told me you still love me, but girl, how could it be? If you still want your freedom, then you ain't wanting me. So what about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about all our hopes, our plans, and all our dreams? What about me? You say you're gonna go my way. Goodbye, goodbye, baby. Don't you worry about all these tears I've cried. These conversations with an open bottle of wine let me know that today I'll be alright. 'Cause we tried to work it out. Too bad we never could. We had our ups and downs. Now you're gone for good. So what about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about all our hopes, our plans, and all our dreams? What about me? What about us? What about life, baby? What about love? What about
all. This is Dave Kilner from the band Coldwater Canyon, and you're watching RSBN, the Right Side Broadcasting Network, your #1 streaming source for all things Trump. You can find Coldwater Canyon's music on cdbaby.com and keep tuning in to RSBN. We'll be right here on the Trump train with you.
We're gonna make America great again. We're gonna make America free again. People have the power to vote that way. All you people screaming USA. We're gonna fill this country with work again. We're gonna bring those jobs back for good again. We gotta make those deals in a better way.
tell you what, it is wonderful to see so many great faces in front of me tonight. We got to do our homework first, and then we've got a wonderful program for you. Ladies and gentlemen, because of you, there is a revival breaking out in America today. The Spirit of the Lord is moving through our ranks, and with your faithful support, we will arrive at the finish line in line with His will, not someone else's. We're heading down the home stretch. Make sure you've got your registrations done. Make sure you've got your absentee ballots picked up. Make sure that you have a way for your neighbors and friends and people that you don't know that well to get to the polls. There has never in history been an election at which something as great as this country has been at stake. Yesterday in Raleigh, there were 12,400 people just like you. Many of you may have been there, who stood up and said, we have got to express our faith in a way that makes a difference for this country. Franklin Graham does not lack in courage. Remember, here's one of the great arguments that he used. Folks, you can fix Congress every 2 years. You can fix the Senate every 2 years. You can fix the presidency every 4 years. You cannot fix the Supreme Court. Once it happens, that is permanent. If that does not light your neighbor's fire, then his or her wood is wet. So stick with them. Pre-registration. Make sure. Don't leave any stone unturned to get our voters out. All right, first, I am going to welcome to the stage Frank Webster. Frank is the assistant DA in Burke County, but he is a member and an active layperson at the Word of Faith Church, and his faith is what drives him forward. So join with me in welcoming Frank Webster as we invoke the Lord's blessing, protection, and wisdom on our efforts. Frank, come on up.
Thank you very much. Good evening. And it's good to be here, and I'm honored to lead you in prayer tonight for the next President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. You know, we as American citizens have a duty to vote. The first time I was able to vote in a presidential election was 1984, and that was for Ronald Reagan. And I'm telling you, I have never been so excited from that day to now to vote for a president. How about you? And I'm going to tell you right now, the Clinton machine and the corporate media and some, sad to say, in the Republican establishment, they're not going to take him away from us, are they? That's because we're going to pray, we're going to vote, and we're going to get our friends to vote and pray. Amen? Let's pray. Father, we do humble our hearts before you. God in heaven, we just pray to you. We ask your blessings on this meeting tonight. We pray for your protection for Donald Trump as he runs for president. We are so thankful, God, that you as a nation have given us another chance. And we as individuals, we ask your forgiveness. We repent. As a nation, we ask you to forgive us. And we repent where we have turned our backs against you, God. And as Chairman Hayes said, it is a revival in this land. And we are so thankful that you've given us another chance by putting it on Donald Trump's heart to run for president. We need him in this hour. And Father God, I pray that the blinders will come off of people's eyes and that they will be able to see that he is your choice for president of the United States. And for that, we are truly grateful and we're thankful, and we give you all the praise and glory and honor. Amen.
In Jesus' name, right. Thank you very, very much. As chairman of your Republican Party, and if you're not Republican, there are people in Lime Green Church here that will register you, our good volunteers. Raise your hand, volunteers, so people can see you. If you got any questions, see those folks. We've got 170 paid staffers in North Carolina paid for by the RNC. We got 24 offices open, 700 trained volunteers, more by the day. Our ground game is going to get it done. We've out-registered the Democrats by 36,000. So be encouraged, be excited. Next, to join me on the stage, come on up. This looks like the Milan family. Would you all mind if people sang with you?
It might be hard to follow us.
All right. Just getting permission. I can't sing, I try, but they said if you wanted to join in singing the national anthem, the Milan family is going to lead us in the greatest anthem that has ever been. Welcome.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Appreciate you. USA, 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 USA. Boy, you're all in good voice tonight. Get it on. Next, it's appropriate and absolutely fitting that we pledge allegiance to that wonderful flag which represents freedom, hope, and opportunity for us and particularly the whole world. To lead us is Senator Bob Rucho. Bob, come on up.
Great, good day. Please join me with the national anthem. We have our flags. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Go Trump!
Play ball.
Thank you.
Play ball. Thank you, Bob. All right. Have to look back and see who's coming next. Boy, we got a treat for you now. How many of you all know pastor and former resource officer and retired Marine Leon Threet? Well, Leon Threet is going to give us a treat. He is going to come out here. You talk about a candidate that we need to elect in the 12th District of North Carolina to the U.S. Congress and get rid of the crazy Mad Hatter. It is Leon, hoorah, Marine. Leon, Pastor Thread, bring us a message. Leon.
Wow. I'm motivated now. I mean, I thought I was fired up before I got here. Yes, I'm Leon Thread, and I'm seeking to serve here in the newly drawn 12th Congressional District. The 12th Congressional District is a very diverse district, and it needs leadership like never before. Leadership with principle, leadership with tested and selfless ability to lead and impact this region. What's really important to the people of the 12th? Recently, our congressional representative came to Charlotte and said what Charlotte-Mecklenburg needs is an investigation by the Department of Justice over our Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. She said we had a race problem. Well, I believe that we have a race baiting problem. And we also have a challenge with professional politicians, with professional protesters inflicting their views on Charlotte-Mecklenburg. What the real issues is for the 12th congressional districts is we need jobs and better jobs. We need to address homelessness. We need to address upward mobility for all of the people of the 12th, a diverse community that we have. We need leadership and change. What's really important for North Carolina? North Carolina recently, the liberal left said that what's important in North Carolina is put boys in girls' bathrooms. They said it's a civil rights issue. Well, as being a man of color, I kind of get a first-hand experience of what discrimination really feels like. And I can tell you we're not dealing with the same issue here. The liberal left has also said, let's boycott North Carolina until we get our agenda, hurting our economy because of this matter. See, the real issues in North Carolina is about having jobs and better jobs. It's about addressing the real issues facing those wonderful communities in the East Coast and the eastern part of North Carolina dealing with Hurricane Matthews. That's the real issues facing North Carolina. What's really going on in North Carolina is for once and for seem like decades, we have real tested, spine-filled leadership that are addressing the real problems in North Carolina. You know, North Carolina is on a pathway of one of the best economies we've had in generations. North Carolina is on a good path. What's going on in America? What's really happening in America? What's happening in America is that we've got to return to the faith and to the principles that made America great. Recently, Hillary Clinton said that half of us who are here tonight are called deplorables and irredeemable. Wow. You know, when I think about the word irredeemables, I think about the great grace that it took to redeem us from our sins. I'm glad I'm not waiting on Washington to redeem me. I'm glad I'm not waiting on an executive order to redeem me. I'm glad I'm not waiting on Hillary Clinton to redeem me. We must have leadership that will unite America. We need leadership that will fear what's really the issues to address, fear what's important. We need leadership in America that will take America forward. We need America to be back on point, and we're not getting that. We'll not get that from a Hillary Clinton presidency. You see, I'm concerned that if we have a Hillary Clinton presidency, we'll have a nightmare like we've never seen before in America. Let's be very clear. What we're dealing with today is not the blue team and the red team. What we're really talking about is who will lead America forward. Who has a tested, proving record to lead our nation, who has the leadership to lead our state, and who has the capacity to lead the 12th Congressional District. So I want to challenge all of us and encourage all of us. Let's get back on point. Let's make sure that we're talking about electing leadership that will make a difference here in our nation, leadership that make a difference here in our state, leadership that will make a difference in the 12th Congressional District. And I think our choices are very clear. I believe our direction is very sound. And I believe we can once again see America being the great nation that it was intended to be. Make America great. See, what we do not need is we don't need more big government. We need leadership that will understand the values and the importance of individual liberties and individual freedoms. And we can only get that from one point of leadership now. So I thank you for your time. I'm Leon Threet, running for the 12th Congressional District, and I thank you for voting correctly, voting properly, and voting for what will make America great again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Leon. What a great guy. Folks, our next speaker is someone who is an absolute spiritual hero of mine. Here's a guy that led the fight to protect marriage as being between a man and a woman. Here's a man that has led the Traditional Values Coalition, who from the pulpit and from the street corner and in every part of his life, be it running for office or pastoring from the pulpit, he has been a witness to the faithfulness of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Pastor Mark Harris, welcome. Thank you for your faithfulness, and thank you for being willing to take a stand.
Well, good evening. It is great to see all of you here tonight, and what an incredible evening it is. I've come tonight to share with you a quick story. You see, when I was 14 years old, my parents dropped me off at the Americans for Reagan office that Jesse Helms had established in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where I grew up. And at age 14, I had the privilege of stuffing envelopes and making phone calls and putting out signs for another time in America where it was time to make America great again. And I was privileged to have that opportunity. And you know, when I think back to those days, I remember just a few things, but some that left an just incredible mark on my life. You see, Ronald Reagan taught us a lot of things and did a lot of things, but what I walked away even as a 14-year-old boy and remember to this day is he said to make America great, it's like looking at the three-legged stool. You've got to have a strong domestic agenda, you've got to have a strong foreign policy, and you've got to be strong on the social issues. And Reagan said, if any one of those three legs is weakened or you try to break it off, that stool will not stand. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we face that same time in America tonight. We need that three-legged stool. We have an opportunity to think about our domestic agenda, about cutting taxes, dealing with the immigration issue, and for heaven's sake, let's have a leader who believes in the United States Constitution once again. It's time for us to understand that leg of foreign policy and understand that we're at a day where our enemies seem to make a mockery of us and our friends don't even know that they can count on us. No, listen, if we're going to make America great again, we must make America strong again and put our military where they belong. But then I would also say to you that you cannot overlook the importance of those social issues. You see, we've got to understand that we must protect the rights of the unborn child. We must understand that it is not our place to define marriage. It is certainly not the place of 5 lawyers in robes, but God already declared it and designed it. It's between a man and a woman, period. And finally, we've got to protect the religious freedoms in this nation. We are seeing the lights of religious freedom threatened, and they're going out one light bulb at a time. And it is so critical that we have a leader who understands that. You know, we've heard an awful lot in recent days about the personalities. We've heard a lot in recent days about the temperament. We've heard a lot about emails. We've heard a lot about charges. We've even seen a lot of things that say this is decision 2016. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's decision 2016. This is about the direction of America in 2016. And the direction will be, are we going to rebuild America with a strong domestic agenda, a strong foreign policy, and strong on social issues? Because if we are, there is only one candidate in the race for President of the United States who represents the candidate that will stand on that three-legged stool, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Donald J. Trump. So let me encourage you in closing that the time is near in North Carolina. North Carolinians have come together before, and North Carolinians will come together again. Early voting starts in less than a week now. Next week, on Thursday, October 20th, early voting will begin. Absentee ballots are already being cast. It is our responsibility. All of the nation is looking at the grand Tar Heel state of North Carolina, and what will be our message? We will stand and elect Donald J. Trump as President of the United States. God bless you. God bless America.
Thank you, Mark. USA. Thanks to Beth for keeping you out here on the trail. By golly, I am so proud to be your chairman. I am proud to represent you. I'm proud to be your voice in many instances. Let me tell you, I'm not running for anything. And I'm not running from anything either. I got a call from the New York Times yesterday. What a disgusting rag. Mullet wrap. They asked me what I thought about Donald Trump. I said, I'm 100% behind him. The North Carolina Republican Party is 100% behind him. I said, why in the world, for 30 years of corruption and illegal activities and emails and everything else, have you failed to bring to the attention of the public what a crook Hillary Clinton is? He didn't have an answer. But I guarantee you, as the guy said the other day, when the gunfire starts, you and I and Donald Trump will run toward it, not away from it like Hillary. Let me get my blood pressure back down under 200. Folks, another one of my heroes, and I should get out of his way and not take up any of his time, is standing down here. You talk about a hard-working, the hardest-working lieutenant governor that I can ever remember, a man who has stood tall, courageously, and without flinching in the face of the media onslaught, and who represents us every night and every day in the way you would expect. Welcome to the podium, our Lieutenant Governor, Dan Forrest. Run, Forrest, run.
Good to see you. Woo! How y'all doing tonight? Awesome. Y'all, I tell you what, y'all are the faithful deplorables. Y'all are the best looking deplorables in the United States of America, I must say. Are y'all ready to make America great again? Good, good, because you know what? We've already been making North Carolina great for 4 years now, and you know what? Most North Carolinians don't even know it. The shame of that is it's what I call media malpractice. It's all these folks back here in the back that know what we've been doing in North Carolina. They know what we've been doing in North Carolina, but they don't want to tell you because they have a political agenda. So let me tell you what we've been doing over the last 4 years. When we took over, we inherited a $3 billion deficit, and we fixed that hole in government the way it should be done without raising your taxes. And then we came back and cut your taxes by $1.5 billion. And then we came back again and did comprehensive tax reform and cut your income tax by another $1.5 billion. Then we paid down the state debt by billions of dollars. Then we paid off the federal government for unemployment insurance by $2.8 billion. Then we put away $2 billion in the unemployment trust fund. Then we put $1.5 billion in the rainy day fund for North Carolina. You know what Roy Cooper, who's running for governor right now, said the other day? Roy said if he were governor, he would have already spent the rainy day fund. But you know what, folks? We just had a rainy day in North Carolina. We just had a rainy day, and that's why we did it. It's called responsible government. We put billions of dollars away. We put billions of dollars away because there are now tens of thousands of people down east North Carolina. There are people that had nothing and they lost everything. And now we have the ability to go reach out with that rainy day fund and help our fellow North Carolinians. That's called responsible government. Not only did we do all that stuff with the economy, you guys created 300,000 new jobs, one of the fastest job growth rates in the country. We have one of the highest rates of family income growth in the country. We went from 44th in the nation in business tax climate to now 11th in the nation, 44 to 11 under Republican leadership. My friends, this formula is working. It's working here in North Carolina, and it is working all across America in the 32 states that are controlled by Republicans. But it can also work in Washington, D.C. when we elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Because what Donald Trump and Mike Pence know about America is they know that the federal government has not been working for the average worker in America. It has not been working for the average family in America. Government has been the problem in America. And so these are trying times, my friends. These are trying times. And we all know that the great battle of the Constitution, when our Constitution was written, the battle of the Constitution flowed right through North Carolina over 200 years ago. We fought in North Carolina to make sure that the Bill of Rights was included in our Constitution. And we wouldn't sign that document until it was done. And guess what? The battle for the Constitution of the United States of America is flowing through North Carolina once again. So if you want to protect your freedom of speech, if you want to protect your freedom of religion, if you want to protect your right to own and bear guns in North Carolina, if you want to protect federalism and the right that every state has to determine how they represent themselves in the United States of America, then you better go out and do your job. We better do our job, and we better elect Donald Trump President of the United States. God bless you all, and may God bless America once again.
from Charleston, South Carolina, Mr. Jim Livingston.
Hello, Charlotte. Hello, North Carolina. I want to say that I am very impressed with the people of North Carolina's reaction to Matthew. You are great people. You know how to handle controversy, and you know how to deal with those issues. And you really show the people of America what North Carolina is all about. You know, we are at a very defining time in our history. We got one shot, folks. We got one shot to rescue America and save that flag. We got 222 Medal of Honor recipients and 200 admirals and generals backing up Donald Trump. Like you, we know what service and sacrifice is about. We know what combat's about. And this election is about combat. Donald Trump can beat Hillary Clinton very easy. But when you factor in the press, Hollywood, and some weak-kneed Republicans, it's going to make it a little bit more harder. So we got to get engaged. We got to make sure this man becomes the next commander-in-chief. He will talk to you about what he plans to do for America. But what I want to emphasize, he plans to save America. So the way we do that is we all get to the booth on the 8th of November and vote Donald Trump. And let me just say, we want to make sure that 1% who serve this country, service and sacrifice, as they go into harm's way, has been worthwhile. And this 1%, and like you, believes in America and what we're all about. This world would not be the same world if it wouldn't be for those who are willing to serve and sacrifice. And the service I'm asking you to do is vote for Donald Trump, ask your neighbors to vote, and anyone else you know on 8 November, because this man should be the next commander-in-chief. So to North Carolina, you're the very defining state in this election. Everyone's talking about North Carolina. I know he's going to win in North Carolina, or I wouldn't be here. You're not losers. So let's get out to the polls and God bless North Carolina.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, first of all, it's really nice to be in this beautiful city of Charlotte. This city is one of the best places to live in America, always rated first, second, or third. And it's because you have such great people here. Always love coming to Charlotte, and I love North Carolina. And we know how they're gonna vote, don't we? They're gonna vote for Trump, right? I kind of got that sense with all the signs that I saw out here and all this tremendous enthusiasm that you have. I thought maybe we'd sort of clear away all the fog and smoke and all the craziness that's going on, and let's talk about the issues for a minute and the differences between these two candidates, okay? So let's start with the most basic thing of all, you. So if you elect Donald Trump, no matter who you are, rich or poor, you're gonna get more money back in your pocket. Because he's gonna reduce taxes in every bracket. Biggest percentage will be for the middle class. And you'll have another 10, maybe 15% more in your pocket, maybe 20% more than you have right now. Wouldn't that be nice? On the other hand, she wants to take the maximum rate up to 45%. She says she's just going to tax the rich. But whenever they say just tax the rich, Obama said that too, and your taxes went up, didn't they? Are you all rich? Yeah, I know this lady who was a good friend of my wife's, and she and my wife used to argue during the election in 2008, and this lady was for Obama. She had a little business. She actually had the Pilates business, and she's a big Obama fan. Oh, wait. And then she went to the first Tea Party rally. You know why? Because she thought she was middle class. Turned out, according to Obama, she was rich, and her taxes went up. Obamacare mandate stuck on her, and the little profit, decent profit she's making from her business was getting all wiped out. And she said, boy, did I make a big mistake. So when Hillary tells you she's going to give free tuition to everybody going to college, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for it. Better to do what Donald Trump wants to do. Put more money back into your pockets so you can spend more money, so we can build more jobs. We can put people back to work again. They're the party of welfare, we're the party of jobs. They're the party of dependency, and we're the party of opportunity. And Donald Trump understands how to create opportunity, probably better than anybody else, because he comes from outside of government. And boy, do we need somebody from outside of government now, don't we? Wow. I mean, I've spent a lot of time outside of government and a lot of time, even more time probably inside of government. I've never ever seen it so bad. I've never seen it so corrupt. I've never seen it so rigged. I've never seen it so, it breaks my heart to see what's happened to my Department of Justice, which I spent 17 years of my life in. Well, that only comes after an indictment, a trial, and a conviction, all of which I think we should have at least been at the first step of by now, which is an indictment. There's no question that she lied to the FBI multiple times. No question. Martha Stewart was prosecuted for one lie to the FBI. Why not her? Because she's a Clinton. She's too important. You can't indict her, even though she destroyed 33,000 emails that were under congressional subpoena. Can you believe that? I don't know. I'm a lawyer. I represent people. If I had a client who destroyed 33,000 emails, under congressional subpoena, you know where they would be now? They'd be in jail. Pretty simple. That's why I'm so disgusted about how corrupt our government has become. And I'm also disgusted because it doesn't get presented to you that way. You know, there is not equal and fair treatment. These things that have come out on WikiLeaks and the things that have come out on the emails, they haven't shocked me. They haven't shocked me. I mean, I've always known that Hillary Clinton really didn't like you. I like you very much. I'm one of you. I love you. But Hillary said in one of those emails, they said that Hillary, you know, she and Bill have now gotten so high up, they're kind of above the middle class now. They're up there. They're up there somewhere. And we're all a bunch of, what are we? Right, exactly. And we're also irredeemable. That's even worse. It means we can't even make up for our sins anymore. We're irredeemable. We can't be redeemed. We're so bad. I don't know, millions of us. That's the way she looks at people. I mean, this is ridiculous. And the press is fixated on trying to destroy Donald Trump. And here, on the other hand, we have a woman that has committed multiple federal crimes. I mean, it's a joke, the federal crimes she's gotten away with. And she said the most horrible things about people. Her own people don't think she has a core. But that means they don't think she believes in anything. Her own people think that Catholics and evangelicals are some kind of strange alien creatures. I don't know. I always thought people who believed in God were pretty good people, if they were Catholics, evangelicals, Jews, Muslims. You don't have to believe in God. This country lets you have any belief that you want. But I always thought that it was a pretty good start if you believed in God, and have great respect for people who do. And I don't look down upon them as some kind of ignorant people. And Donald Trump is like that. He doesn't look down at anybody. He realizes one of the reasons he was successful is because he was able to treat the carpenter and the young man who was bringing maybe the lunch to all the construction workers and the guys who go way up on top of those big buildings. You know how much courage it takes to work on those big buildings in Manhattan? You know, every time we put up a big building, almost always we lose somebody. It's a terrible thing. And we had a couple when I was mayor, and I felt so bad, you know. These are very, very dangerous things that they're doing. These are remarkable people, these people who are carpenters and janitors and the guys who do the construction work. And Donald Trump respects them. He respects them. He understands the value of their work. He understands how it's their work that made him so successful. He realizes that because he was so successful, he couldn't have done it any place else but in the United States of America, and that's what he wants to give back to you. He's willing to go through this terrible hell that they're putting him through, this terrible hell in which he's being attacked and attacked and attacked from this side and that side and this side, and everything exaggerated beyond whatever. Meanwhile, WikiLeaks and the emails and they're down here somewhere. Because unfortunately, the reality is the press wants Hillary Clinton as president, and they don't want Donald Trump as president. That's just a simple fact. Everybody should grow up and just kind of deal with it. Now, I got news for them. You know who decides who becomes president? You do. And North Carolina plays a big role this time, right? You're one of the swing states. In New York or Texas, you know, somebody comes up to me in New York or Texas and they say, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton. I say, I'll vote 4 times, I don't care. Those states are kind of decided, right? Republican, Democrat, California, Democrat. But your state, this is a real election here. This is exciting. You get a chance to pick the next president. You get a chance to shape the Supreme Court for the next 20 to 30 years. Donald Trump has has had the courage to put out the names of about 18, 19, 20 men and women from whom he would pick his Supreme Court justice, so you would know what you're getting. You can take a look at those men and women and decide, are these the kind of people that I want on the Supreme Court? Are they going to interpret the Constitution in a intellectually honest way, or are they going to try to use it to affect some kind of social change, which I think our founding fathers would found very, very abominable. But you get to make that choice with. She's not telling you who she's appointed to the Supreme Court. You know why? Because these people are like, we'd be falling off the left wing of the left wing or the left wing or the left wing. I mean, we're going to get some really. I mean, when you listen to the things that she says in private, my goodness, this woman is a socialist. She didn't find it really hard. She didn't find it really hard to move over to Bernie Sanders. When I look at the speeches she was paid for, the little snippets that we have, she wants open borders. She wants open trade. And her real goal is we should just kind of like be part of the United Nations. She wants to give away our sovereignty. This is one of the speeches she got $250,000 for. I mean, I wouldn't pay a penny for that speech, but, you know, these guys were given to that money. You think it was because she's such a great speaker? You think Hillary Clinton is a $250,000 speaker? Have you heard her speak? Would you pay to go see her speak? What do you think she's getting the $250 for? Because she's going to take care of those banks, and she's going to take care of those. She is bought and paid for by the teachers union. That's why you can't get choice for the school that you want your child to go to. Donald Trump is for choice. He wants you to decide what school your child goes to. He'll give you the money, put it in your hands, and you pick the school. She wants the Board of Education to pick the school. Which do you like better? So don't get fooled by them. Don't get fooled by the press. Don't get fooled by all this garbage that's being thrown back and forth, all this garbage of all different kinds. And gosh, it's so confusing. Just figure out which one of these two people is going to put in place the policies that you agree with. And I think I know the policies that you agree with. Lower taxes, smaller government, and a Supreme Court that interprets the Constitution in an intellectually rigid and honest way. I think you want a person who can say Islamic extremist terrorism and not be afraid to say it. I think you want someone who is willing to say if they're at war with us, we're at war with them. And like Ronald Reagan, here's how the war ends. You lose, we win. So make sure you get out to vote. Make sure you vote for Donald Trump. And then we will have America once again great. Thank you.
to be here, especially with my girls, my sisters. Women for Trump.
Yes, baby.
You know, all I can say to the media, how low can you go? Yeah, you know, Crooked Hillary can pimp them out, but she won't be able to pimp out the American people. We are on to her. And I heard about a month or two ago, she said, you know, when all of that email stuff was coming out, you know, well, I know there's smoke, but that doesn't mean it's fire. There's no fire. Yeah, she said that, you all.
That's what she said.
And you know, I thought about it.
Yeah, we thought about it.
I said, where there's smoke, there is fire.
That's right. Yeah.
And the American people are alarmed. And the reason why she's coughing is because of all of that smoke.
That's right.
Benghazi, pay-for-play schemes, email scandal, not understanding that C stands for classified.
That's right.
We not falling for the okie doke. We're gonna get out and vote.
That's right.
And we gonna vote for our man Donald J. Trump. And you know, with all of that smoke, it is time for people. And you know, wait a minute, hold up before I say this here. One more thing, you all. I heard them say something about when they go low, we go high, or something like that. I heard the other side say that. But I want you all to get low enough to drop, and roll away from Crooked Hillary and go vote for Donald J. Trump. Yeah. Now, are we all on the Trump train? Are we all on the Trump train? All aboard? When I say all aboard, you say choo-choo, all aboard? All aboard? All aboard! Yes, baby!
Just another Friday night in LA. We all getting down, feeling right. And there she is alone again in the corner, sipping on a glass of house red wine. As the band begins to play, she's grooving, letting the music fill her soul. Nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you wanna, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. There's a million things that it could be, from broken hearts to broken dreams, or getting truth, your guess is as good as mine. Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows. Is there something at home? Nobody knows, nobody knows why she dances alone. No, nobody knows, nobody knows what she's running from. You can ask her to dance if you want, but you smile and just say no. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Nobody knows why she dances alone. Said nobody knows.
Greetings in the name of the Lord. The first time I spoke with Mr. Trump, I said only God and we the people, together with God's wisdom, can make America great again. And Donald Trump says he's going to inspire us and lead us to do just that. From the time I began meeting with him back in April, I have never been received so graciously, with such humility, with such sincere interest in the things that God has to say about freedom and about life. Jesus said to his disciples, if they receive you, they receive me. Now you work through the theology of that, but I want you to know this man has received me openly. I have never wavered. I proclaim the word of God. I held this Bible up with Ronald Reagan standing behind me, 17,000 church leaders, and I said, America, commit yourself not to politicians or political parties, but to the principles in this book that made America great and will be forever, the land of the free and the home of the brave. And Ronald Reagan, listen to this, Ronald Reagan in great humility and gratitude walked up and said, I know this is a nonpartisan meeting. You cannot endorse me, but I only said that because I want you to know I endorse you and what you stand for. And Ronald Reagan saved freedom and gave it another day. We will lose freedom if we don't make the right decision in November. And it has to be for a return to freedom. I want you to listen to a statement written by Ravi Zacharias, the greatest apologist, defender of the faith, in my opinion, on the planet, the most respected Christian leader. And he said, I'm going to release all of this to the press, but let me give you a summation. He said the atrocities that have been committed by Hillary Clinton, this administration, a meaningless line in the sand, the massacre of innocent women, the horrible acts against women all over the world, the horrible things happening to the innocent, everything this man is accused of by any person, any failure on his part, pales in comparison to what has been perpetrated on the world under our present liberal, godless leadership. Ravi Zacharias said the failures of this man, which he's acknowledged and said, forgive me, I'm wrong. He said his failures pale in comparison to those failures. What he's done wouldn't even get to the discussion at a table of reason to be considered in light of the atrocities that have been perpetuated on the world by the past generation and by the liberal anti-world good. Thank you, Ravi Zacharias. I will release it. And Ravi said, send me the critics. I'll talk to them. Thank God. Thank God. Bless you. I want you to receive the man as he has received me, Donald Trump, and promise to pray for him and pray for the future and freedom of America. God bless you. God bless America.
everybody. Wow. This is a nice group. We love North Carolina, that I can tell you. So, before we start, I want to bring up some people that have worked so hard for us. And we have many others in the audience that have been incredible. In fact, all of these people right here, I say. It's called Women for Trump. And they're all over the place. They are all over. Come on up.
Hey, y'all. So I'm Laura Trump. This man, I am honored to say, is my father-in-law, Donald Trump. Y'all know I'm from North Carolina, right? Just checking. Listen, we all know what happened with the hurricane in the eastern part of our state. It has been devastated. And Donald Trump is a man who sees a problem and wants to fix it. So when he saw the devastation that had happened in Greenville, in Lumberton, in Fayetteville, he said, ladies, we have to take action. We have to help those people. So he gave us $30,000 worth of supplies and food and sent us to help. So for the past 2 days, we were able to help people who have nothing, whose homes and lives have been destroyed. And that is the way that Donald Trump wants to lead this country. We are honored to be up here today in my home state. It is incredible to call this man my father-in-law, and it will be the greatest honor of my life to call him our 45th President of the United States. Thank you, North Carolina. I love you.
I do. North Carolina, are you in the house? On the first episode of The Apprentice, Donald Trump gave us a task, and Katrina Campins from the first season is here. He gave us lemons, and he said, go out and make lemonade and sell it on the streets of New York. Y'all remember that? Well, America, we've been given a big old barrel of lemons for the last 7 years. And it's time for us to turn this thing around. We got lemons, but we're gonna make a hell of a glass of lemonade. Now, Laura and I have a little cheer. I want her to come up. She's a former cheerleader. When I say Trump train, I want you to say choo choo. Y'all ready? Trump train! Trump train! Trump train! Thank you!
Oh boy, oh boy. And we have a lot of other women for Trump right here, I'll tell you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And we're going to be very happy and very proud of our country again, I will tell you that. We're going to renegotiate our very disastrous trade deals, end illegal immigration, stop the massive inflow of refugees, take care of our incredible veterans who are not being taken care of properly. We're going to repeal and replace job-killing Obamacare quickly. Your jobs will come back under a Trump administration. So many have left. Your incomes will go up under a Trump administration. Your taxes will go way down, and crooked Hillary is giving you a big tax increase. Your taxes will go way down under a Trump administration. Your companies won't be leaving our country under a Trump administration. There will be consequences. They're not going to be leaving so easy, folks, not like the old days. The Hillary Clinton documents released by WikiLeaks make more clear than ever just how much is at stake come November 8th. Such an important day. Such an important day. Get out and vote, everybody. Get out and vote. In an email sent to John Podesta on August 17, 2014, Hillary wrote that the governments of Qatar and Saudi Arabia are, quote, providing clandestine financial and logistical support to ISIL. Yet, in that same year, Bill and Hillary accepted a check from Saudi Arabia. So Hillary thinks that they are funding ISIS, but still takes their money. And you know their views on gays, and you know their views on women. Takes a lot of money. I think she should give back the $25 to $35 million she's taken from Saudi Arabia. And she should give it back fast. There's a lot of people in here. It's a big group. It's a big group. You know, I own a big development right down the road. Trump National, right on Lake Norman. Lake Norman. And we have it's an amazing success. We have amazing people there, both the employees and the people living there, and we love it. Thank you. Thank you. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Clinton corruption. Hillary bleached and deleted 33,000 emails after receiving, remember the word, after receiving a congressional subpoena, and then made 13 phones disappear. It's amazing what she's getting away with, right? It's amazing, but maybe that won't happen. She made 13 phones disappear, some by beating them with a hammer. Has anybody, when you got rid of your iPhone, knocked the hell out of it with a hammer? There's a person way in the back. We will find out what business that person said. She did it to cover up her crimes. It's one more reason why we need a special prosecutor to look into Hillary Clinton. And we have to investigate the investigation. The investigation. Nobody in this country has seen anything like it. This is our last chance to save our country and reclaim it for we the people. This is it. You don't have another chance. I really believe this is it. As you have seen, I am a victim of one of the great political smear campaigns in the history of our country. They are coming after me to try and destroy what is considered by even them the greatest movement in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. Bill O'Reilly and others have said it's the single greatest political phenomena in his lifetime, and others have said the same thing. The political establishment is trying to stop us because they know we are a threat to their totally corrupt control. It's true. No one is more corrupt than crooked Hillary Clinton. Nobody. In fact, she's the most corrupt person ever to seek the presidency of the United States of America. And her specialty, if you look over the years, has been character assassination and really personally just going after people. That's her specialty. She's been doing it her whole career. The only force strong enough to smash Clinton's corrupt criminal syndicate is you, the American voter. November 8th. November 8th. After many, many years, even many decades, without complaint, the media and the Clinton campaign have brought forward false allegations less than a month before the most important election in modern times. These allegations are 100% false, as everybody, I think you know. I think you get it. I think you get it. They're made up. They never happened. When have you met tens of thousands of people, as I have? And I've met thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Know them well. It's not hard to find a small handful of people willing to make false smears for personal fame, who knows, maybe for financial reasons, political purposes, or for the simple reason they want to stop our movement, they want to stop our campaign. Very simple. These claims defy reason, truth, logic, common sense. They're made without supporting witnesses. No witnesses. Hey, 28 years ago, 10 years ago, 14 years ago, 12 years ago. Not me, believe me. Not me. Not me. You would be very impressed, actually, with my life in so many regards, including that regard. No, not a single shred of evidence. Eyewitnesses have already debunked the wild and ludicrous allegations of a magazine article that appeared. And I'll tell you what, it was just incredible. It was People magazine, and the article appeared, and a statement was made. But if it's true, they would have put it in the article. They would have had to put it into the article. But they didn't do that. And they didn't do that for a simple reason, because it never happened 12 years ago. Never complained, never talked to the bosses, never. All of a sudden, 2 nights ago, we get a call. And the call is from People magazine. They didn't even want to quote. I think maybe what we should do, boycott that issue of People magazine. So, that's the way it is. But I just want to tell you folks that it is a campaign that's amazing. And I'm not going to be talking about it much because we want to talk about other things and we have to talk about other things. But if it affects 5% or 2% or 10% or it's all false stuff, it's all a concerted effort. And I think it's the only way they're going to stop us. The only way. And I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, you can get them out of here. Get them out. Get them out. Hey, look, the great thing, the camera's turned. Look, the camera's turned. The camera's turned. Oh, that's wonderful. That's so good. It's the only way we get the cameras to turn. So, folks, here's the story. We are going to bring jobs back to North Carolina. We are going to bring borders back to our country. And yes, we will build a wall. And Mexico will be paying for that wall. Great crowd, I'll tell you. This is a great crowd. But I want to talk about jobs because I know this part of the world. I told you I have property here, a lot of great employees, a lot of great people, a lot of friends. And your jobs are being taken pretty much like nobody else's jobs have been taken. And it's only going to get worse. And as you stand here tonight, some of your companies, your leaders in your companies, are negotiating with Mexico and other places. You know that. To move that company to Mexico. And during the primary system, I had a very, very interesting period of time because I got to know this country so well. We had 17 people running. I was given a small chance because they said he's not an experienced politician. And then week after week, one by one, right? Boom, boom, boom. But I got to know the country, and I got to see what's happening with our manufacturing. We don't make much anymore by comparison to what we used to do. We used to be amazing. We don't do what we used to do. And I had won New York State, and I had gotten up to places in New York State which I hadn't seen for a long time. Hillary Clinton represented New York State, and she was a disaster. She was a disaster. She said she was going to bring jobs back, 200,000 jobs. Well, it was just the opposite. Jobs fled. She lied to the people of New York State. It was a total catastrophe. And if you look at what's happened to New York now, you just take a look at what's happened to New York in terms of upstate and manufacturing. You go to the different places, Albany and Syracuse and Rome. I always say that's the real Rome, but unfortunately, they're having a lot of problems. And you'll see what happens. But I went, oops, somebody's hurt. Is there a doctor in the house, please? Doctor in the house. We have to take care of our people, right? These are great people. Have to take care of our people. And we have to take care of our country because we don't want to be a divided country anymore. We're very divided, and we're going to take care of our country. Some of these people got here 9 hours and 10 hours ago, right? Right? Some of these people. So we can understand how there can be some problems. Are you doing okay over there? Look okay? We have tough people in this room, let me tell you. It's hot. It's hot. The other night they said Donald Trump was sweating. I was in a room that was 110 degrees. We had 17,000 people. And I'll tell you what, wasn't sweating too much for what we had. Good. We'll make sure everything's perfect here, all right? We'll make sure everything's perfect. You take your time. Our great police have just arrived. Do we love our police? Everything good? All right, I'm getting the high sign. Good. Good. Give that person a hand. You know, when they go down at a Trump rally, they'll leave and they always come back. It's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. All right, so we'll keep going. You let us know if there's any problem, and I'll come down and I'll help you myself, all right? So we went to Indiana, and in going to Indiana, I got to know the great Bobby Knight. That was a great endorsement. Coach Knight. You know that story. He called, he said, Mr. Trump, this is Coach Knight. I want you to run for president. I said, Coach, I haven't made up my mind. This is a couple of years ago. He said, well, if you do, I'd like to endorse you. You just let me know. And we were winning state after state after state. And all of a sudden, we hit Indiana. And that's where we were going to maybe not do as well. Remember that? They called it our watershed. And I said, Bobby Knight called it. A friend of mine said, have you ever had any access to Bobby Knight? That would be great. I said, I just happened to. And I lifted up this huge pile of papers, and I wrote his number down. I put it right there, and it was right there. It was like a miracle. It's from God, right? It was from God. And that says, Jesus for Trump. You're right. And I said, you know what? Let me do that. I called Bobby Knight. He said, I'd love to be there. I want to tell you, that was a very, very strong performance that he put in and we put in. And then we went in and ran. But I really got to know our country, and I got to know it well. And I'm so proud of the people of this country. And one of the things I saw, and I said, you take care of that person. Good. Thank you. Thank you, darling. She'll be back. You watch. She'll be right back. But one of the things that happened is I saw what was going on so closely and so vividly with respect to jobs, and how our jobs are being drained because of NAFTA. NAFTA is a disaster. It's a disaster. Signed by Bill Clinton. You're not going to believe the number. 70,000 factories, manufacturing plants have closed since the signing of NAFTA. Who would believe this? I mean, who would believe it? 70,000. I thought they made a mistake. I thought it would be 700. I said, it can't be 70,000. Millions of jobs wasted, lost. Many people in this room are making less money now than they made 20 years ago, 18 years ago, 25 years ago in real wages. And they're working harder, so am I, so I don't feel so guilty about that. This is work, but not bad work. This is good work because we're getting to a position where if we can win North Carolina, and we're leading in Ohio, you saw that. And we're doing great in Florida. Doing great. We are doing so good in Florida. By the way, these teleprompters haven't been working for the last 20 minutes. And I actually like my speech better without teleprompters. And this way, what I like about it, wait a minute, let me see how these things work. You know what? I like it better without the teleprompter. And I notice every time I look up, they're trying, it's straining. It's straining. Get this thing out of here, will you? Get it out. I like it much better without the teleprompter. You know, it's very funny. I went through 17 professional politicians, top people, and I went without any teleprompters. Then all of a sudden they said, well, now you're running in the election. You need teleprompters. And I like teleprompters. They're fine, but it's sort of cooler without it, right? Don't you think? I like it better with that. And it's a little strange when you see this glass. I watch Hillary. She's got the biggest pieces of glass, and sometimes they're painted black on the other side because you see better. And she always just reads off the teleprompter. And it's short, and then she goes home and she goes to sleep. Now, she's not, look, she is not going to campaign anymore until after, because she's prepping for the debate. Now, the last time she prepped for a week also, and let's face it, you have to say, I really beat her easily. That wasn't easy, right? So here's the story. Here's the way I work. Here's the way government works. So the teleprompter's a bummer. It doesn't work. That means the company doing the teleprompter is in the back. That means they didn't do a good job. So I won't pay them, right? I won't pay them. And tomorrow, I'll have a story in the newspaper. Donald Trump did not pay a contractor who put up the teleprompters. Well, why should I? They don't work. And, oh, it's true. It's true. And they'll make me like a bad guy, like I'm a bad person, right? You know, I pay contractors on time. I am so good. We just built a hotel on Pennsylvania Avenue, the old post office. On time, under budget. We had great contractors, right? But when you have a bum contractor, now, here's the thing. You have a bad contractor, don't pay or cut the price. You have a good contractor, get that money out fast. But the country should do the same thing. They build roads. They build roads that cost much more than they're supposed to cost, right? They build roads that are crazy, where they're double and triple. They build buildings where you ever see 1,000%. There's a hospital being built in one of my favorite states. It's so out of control. It's like 1,000%. It's a VA hospital. 1,000% cost overrun. I looked at it. I figured it was as massive. It's not even a big deal. Not even a big deal. Our country has to be able to do things on time, on budget, has to be able to build on time, on budget, has to be able to purchase its military equipment, not for political reasons because some political guy owns the company, but because that's the equipment that our generals, our admirals, and our soldiers and sailors want. Have to do it. And we're going to change our whole purchasing procedure. For instance, the purchase of drugs. The drug companies have a tremendously powerful lobby. We don't negotiate properly. We would save so much money with proper negotiation. And it is true about the military. If you are somebody that has less good stuff that they don't want as much as another company, but you are a political power, you contribute to the senators and to the congressmen and to the people that make the decisions, and you work with the admirals and you work with everybody, all of a sudden they're buying equipment that's not as good and they're spending more money doing it. We're not going to be doing that stuff anymore. Remember this, I'll have spent over $100 million of my money running for office. And some of these people said, and they say it all the time, they said, one in particular said, you don't realize what you've done. Never been done before. You don't realize. It doesn't matter whether or not you win or lose. It makes no difference. What you've done for political history. I said, let me tell you a little secret. Okay. If we don't win on November 8th, it will be the greatest waste of time, energy. You ever hear that word before? Energy? You ever hear the word? Low energy. He didn't sign he signed that pledge, but a couple of those guys that signed the pledge, they signed the pledge because they wanted me to sign the pledge. And then when they lost, they never got beaten so badly in their lives, folks. But when they lost, they didn't honor the pledge that they signed. I was actually surprised. Only a few of them. Most of them did. Many of them, Ben Carson, and a lot of great people. Mike Huckabee's been great. Chris Christie. We've had a lot of great support. We've had a lot of great, especially from the real world. A couple of our leaders aren't, it's not working out for them so well. But I will tell you this. We are going to have an amazing victory on November 8th. We're going to come back here and celebrate, but we're going to have an amazing victory. Because this is all about the people. This is now about the people. So let me just tell you, I was talking about jobs. And when you get, I feel the same way. when you get to the different places within our country and you see how our companies are being sucked out into Mexico and other places, here's what's going to happen. I go to Indiana and I see Carrier Air Conditioning. 1,400 people that followed me all over Indiana, so many of them, so much support. They were fired. They were there for some of them 25 years longer. They were fired. Carrier announced that they're moving to Mexico. They're going to build a brand new plant, and they're going to make air conditioners. And they're going to sell the air conditioners into our country and other places. And we are fools, so we're just going to say, oh, go ahead. You fire all these people in Indianapolis, and you're going to do this, not if I'm president. All right. Ford announced 2 weeks ago that they're moving the production of their smaller cars, that's a big production, to Mexico from our country. And by the way, the reason we're doing well in Michigan and in Ohio is because they know that I've been talking about automobile production. And I've been pointing out what's happening to automobile production and where it's moving, and I've been talking about it for 5 years. Crooked Hillary just started talking about it. And let me tell you, just like she failed in New York State with jobs, she's never bringing your businesses back, folks. She's never bringing your businesses back. And she's going to give you massive tax increases. Massive. And I'm cutting taxes massively. So here's the story. For years and years, you've been hearing that companies are moving out. Who better than North Carolina to know exactly what happened, right? You people have lost a lot of businesses. Not going to happen anymore. So, whether it's Ford, whether it's Carrier, whether it's somebody else, we hear somebody's leaving, we're going to say, we hope you stay and let's talk. Nobody talks to these companies, by the way. Do you think anybody talked from the federal government to Carrier or to Ford? They just do whatever they want to do. But nobody talks. You got to go see them. You got to cajole. You got to be nice. And if it doesn't work out, you'll tax the hell out of their product coming back in. True. So what happens is for years and years, that's right. For years and years, they've been talking about how do we keep our companies in North Carolina? How do we keep our companies in these different states? And they'd give interest-free loans, and they give all sorts of goodies. They didn't need the money. They want to leave. They didn't need the money. So I've been talking for the last 6 months. I said it's very simple. I mean, I do it before I said a sentence. What you do is you say the following. Carrier, are you staying or are you leaving? Well, we're leaving. By the way, nobody's going to leave once you tell them what's happened. Nobody's leaving. So they're leaving because they're a little early. And you say to them, though, assuming you had, as an example, if I were made by a president Secretary of Keeping Businesses in the United States, okay? I'll be, instead of Secretary of State, Secretary of Keeping Businesses. Not a very glamorous title, but boy, would I be good at that. Because I would call up the head of Carrier as an example. And I would say, congratulations on your new plant in Mexico. Yes, I agree it's warm, but I hear it's going to be a lovely place. And if you move, and we don't want you to move, there are consequences. He'll say, what are the consequences? He'll say, every single time you make an air conditioning unit in Mexico, and you think after firing all of these people in Indianapolis, you're going to take that unit, have it come across the border with no tariffs, no taxes, you're 100% wrong. We're going to charge you. We're going to charge you, very importantly, we're going to charge you a 35% tax for any unit that you make. Now, here's what's going to happen. Number one, very strongly, nobody's going to leave. But if they do leave, that 1%, 2%, believe me, nobody's leaving. If I'm that secretary, nobody's leaving. But if they do leave, we're going to make a fortune. So it's okay either way, right? Ladies, right? Because we cannot afford to continue to lose our companies. We're losing our companies. We're losing our jobs. We cannot afford to lose our jobs. We cannot afford to lose our manufacturing. So it's going to all come to an end. It's going to all come to an end. We are going to keep our companies. We are going to expand our companies. We are reducing taxes, the biggest tax decrease since Ronald Reagan, and could even be bigger than that. Our companies are going to stay. Our companies are going to expand, and our companies are going to thrive. In addition, new companies will be started, and new jobs will happen. And we will produce 25 million jobs over a period of 10 years, as sure as you're standing there. And I give you seats, but there were too many people, sorry. So whether it's Carrier, yes. Oh, is that Carrier air conditioner? What's he talking about? Oh, you don't have the speaker? I'll tell you, whoever runs this place is not doing very well. You don't have the speaker. They said, do you hear me over there? Great job, fellas. So now we don't have to pay for this, and now we don't have to pay for that. Man. Who the hell runs this place? They say the speakers don't work. And I was having so much fun without these damn teleprompters, right? But can you hear me okay? Can you hear me over there? You're good enough. See there, I wouldn't deduct full, but I'll take 30% off the price for the country. So we'll keep our jobs. We'll thrive. We're going to thrive. We're not going to give Iran, we're not going to give them $400 million in cash that turned out to be $1.7 billion again. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? $1.7 billion in cash. We're giving them $150 billion. And now, look at what's going on. We've emboldened them. Instead of making them our friends, this incompetent president, he is incompetent. We've emboldened. I mean, this guy, all he does is campaign for crooked Hillary. Look, he doesn't want Trump because Trump is going to be much different. First of all, one of my first acts is to get rid of his ridiculous health care that doesn't work. I wonder who pays for that big plane when he flies in to campaign for Hillary. I know the answer. You know what happens? The campaign pays for a tiny little fraction. A tiny little fraction. Is that good or bad? Oh, they just got it working. All right, we'll give them 20% off. Good, sounds much better, right? Good voice, right? All right, good. Thank you, fellas, that's great. So, we are going to, well, we have no choice, repeal and replace Obamacare. Now, you saw what happened. The governor of Minnesota came out, he said the Affordable Care Act is not affordable. It's a disaster. Hey folks, it is a disaster. Hillary Clinton wants to save it. She wants to spend a fortune. Your premiums are going to go up next year over 100%. This year, you look at Texas, you look at your area, you look at everywhere, they're going up 50, 60, 70, 80%. It's gone, it's busted, it's broken, it doesn't work. And I told you it didn't work before it was signed, right? Because I know this stuff. I'm pretty good at this stuff. It is a disaster. We're going to have a new health care plan that's going to cost much less money, both for you and for the country. And it's going to be a much higher quality health care. Remember, you can have your doctor, you can have your plan 28 times, right? 28 times he said it. 28 times. Hillary Clinton, when she was at the State Department, $6 billion was found to be missing. You saw that, right? This is what we're going to have for our president. So here's the story. We are going to have a great, great, vibrant country again. We're going to have jobs. We're going to have jobs. We're going to bring back in new jobs. But we're going to take care of things that have never been taken care of. You know what that is? The inner cities. We have inner cities where the crime rate is beyond belief. The levels of poverty are hard to believe we're in this country. The education is virtually non-existent. It's so bad. The Common Core, we're going to get rid of Common Core, believe me. Common Core is out. We're going to bring education locally. But you take a look at the African American folks living in the inner cities where the crime is so bad you go with your child to get a loaf of bread and you get shot. It's so bad. The crime is out of control. Everything's out of control. You look at Chicago, 3,000 shootings, 3,000 shootings since January 1st. The crime rate is incredible. Murders in the United States, nobody tells you this. These people don't tell you this. Murders in the United States are up 45. Did you see the numbers? The highest they've been in 45 years. Murder. So murder's the highest it's been in 45 years. We are going to make our country so much stronger, so much safer. And for the African American community living in the hell of these inner cities, we're going to solve the crime problem. We're going to help with education. We're going to bring our jobs back for everybody. We're going to make the community safe. And you know, I've been saying this. What the hell do you have to lose? They're a disaster. The inner cities are a disaster all over. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, you look at the crime statistics. I really say it. What do you have to lose? I will fix the inner cities. It's like a passion of mine. I'm good at fixing things, especially real estate. And importantly, we're going to help big league with education. We're going to bring in choice, which is so important. And so important is we're going to bring jobs back to our country so that people actually have jobs. So I say, I hope you're going to vote for Donald Trump. Same things. Same thing. Same thing with the Hispanic Americans. Is that a correct statement? How many Hispanic Americans do we have here? One. We have at least one. We have a lot. Wow, that's good. We're going to bring jobs back. We're going to bring education back. We're going to bring safety back. Vote for Trump. We're going to fix it. That I can tell you. Vote for Trump. Vote for Trump. So here's a list of things. We're going to fix our depleted military. Our depleted military. You look at where we are compared to where we used to be. Number of ships. The kind of weapon we have. You look at what's going on with the people we just made rich. Look at what's going on tonight. Just take a look at what's gone on. We want to have peace through strength. We have to be stronger. We have to have better equipment. Our people in the military are the best. But they have old equipment. They have old fighter jets. They have fighter jets that are so old that they have to go to museums where they're on display. They have to go to plane graveyards because they don't make the parts anymore. These are our fighter jets that we're currently using. So we're going to fix our very, very depleted military so that our people in the military can have the kind of depth and the kind of equipment that they deserve. We're going to work with our veterans because our veterans, in many cases, are treated far worse than illegal immigrants coming into the country. We're going to help our veterans. Big veteran state. We're going to help our veterans and help them big league. And they know my plan. It's been posted. And I have tremendous veteran support. There's not going to be waiting online for 9 days and 7 days and 6 days. And people dying because they can't see a doctor quickly enough for a simple procedure or for a simple prescription. So we're going to fix that, and you all know what we're doing. If you have that kind of a wait, you're going outside to a private doctor across the street, or you're going to a private or public hospital, we'll pay the bill, but you're not going to be dying in our country, not our veterans. You're not going to be dying waiting online for 7 days, 9 days, and 10 days. It's very important. We are going to stop drugs from pouring into our country. ICE endorsed us just last week. The Border Patrol agents, 16,500, and ICE. So we have ICE, we have Border Patrol. First time either one has ever endorsed a presidential candidate. We are going to stop, and I promise this to the people of New Hampshire because New Hampshire has a tremendous heroin problem. We are going to stop drugs from pouring in to our country and poisoning our youth. We're going to stop it. We're going to stop it. And we're going to stop people from coming into our country illegally, but we are going to have a big, beautiful door in our wall. And that door is going to let lots of people in, but they're coming into our country legally. Come in legally. We're going to protect your Second Amendment, which is under siege. The National Rifle Association endorsed Donald Trump. And it's the earliest endorsement they've ever given to a candidate, which I'm proud of. These are great people, these are great Americans, and they're doing the right thing. So your Second Amendment under siege. If Hillary gets in, forget it. Forget it. We will protect your Second Amendment. Importantly, so importantly, I told you about Obamacare, forget it, it's gone. But so importantly, we are going to appoint justices to the United States Supreme Court that you will be proud of. Constitution. We're going to be upholding and respecting our Constitution. So, I just want to say this. When you look back, and we all had a good time, even though your speakers were no good, your teleprompters were no good, as long as Trump was good, that's all that matters. Right? We had a good time. But you're going to look back at this evening. You're going to say, hey, I had a good time. But you're going to go home, and in 15 years, and in 25 years, hopefully in longer than that, you're going to look back at this evening and say, this was a very important evening in your life. More importantly, I love those signs, women for Trump. Because I actually think I'm doing well with women. Whoa, whoa. See, they may have the worst seats, but they're going to be the most famous people because look at those cameras. So, more importantly, you're going to view your vote on November 8th to be the most important vote that you've ever cast. Because we're going to take back the White House. We're going to have a country that you're going to be so proud of again. We're going to have a country that works. Do you notice we don't win anymore, folks? When was the last time we won? We have Iran nipping at us. You look at what's going on. We can't beat ISIS. I always say, George Patton, I was a fan. Today he couldn't make it because he wasn't politically correct. He was a little on the rough side, right? He was bum, bum, bum. But George Patton, General Douglas MacArthur, these people are spinning in their graves right now. And for the military people, right? For the military people, the element of surprise. Don't we like that? The element of surprise. So I hear, who knows, but we hear in Mosul that a lot of the leaders of ISIS are in Mosul, right? I've been hearing that for a while. And they think they're largely in Mosul. About 3 weeks ago, I started hearing that we, through Iraq, but we, are going to attack Mosul. We're going to attack them sometime within the next few months. We're going to hit them hard. Left, right, back, forward. Yes, sir, we're going to attack them. There's only one problem. By the time we attack them, all the guys that we want are going to be gone. They're very smart. How stupid are the people that run our country? Why couldn't they keep it quiet? Why couldn't they keep it quiet? Knock the hell out of them, grab them all, and then announce a week later to the American people that we've gotten the bad ones. The bad ones are gone, folks. They're someplace else. That's for the military people. They understand that better than anybody. Am I right? Do you think General George Patton, if he were in charge, and by the way, I have over 200 admirals and generals supporting Donald Trump and endorsing Donald Trump. I have 21 recipients of the Medal of Honor that have endorsed Donald Trump. So they like my attitude. They like, actually, my knowledge. People were surprised the other night when we, by the way, totally annihilated in the debate. Okay? Totally. Remember when she came in front of me? She walked right in front of me. I said, hi, Hillary. But remember, she walked in front of me, answered a question, which was fun. I had no problem with it. And then the next day, they put out something. I invaded her space while on the stage. I invaded. Did you see that? Right? I'm standing. Here's my lectern. No. Here's my lectern. And I'm standing there. And we're answering and this and that. And I was 3-1. I had Anderson Cooper. And I had Martha Raddatz. I don't think she likes me too much. No, but I had 3-1. In fact, I said, what is this, 3-1? And Hillary came in. She walked right in front of me. I was at my chair. I was at my lectern. I was standing there. And the reason is I didn't want to be scolded for that. And sure as hell, the next day, he violated Hillary's space. Or, to put it another way, he violated the space of crooked Hillary. So anyway, but she's home now. She's prepping, so we'll see what happens. But when I saw this whole thing on Mosul, day after day, we're attacking Mosul. In 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're not exactly sure. All they know is it's happening. What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? So we're going to have a country run smart. We won't be giving $150 billion to a terrorist state. We'll be looking at that deal so close, inside out and backwards. And if they are not living up I mean, the hardest part for me is we're giving them so much money already. I would have liked it much more before we gave them all that money. But they don't honor that deal to every single little line, every single little word. We're going to rip the sucker up so fast your head will spin. Your head will spin. It's one of the most incompetent deals I've ever seen in my life. I'm not talking about nation to nation. Secretary Kerry never stood up and said, we're walking. And if he did, he could have made a much better deal. And I don't mind making deals for nuclear. I don't mind making great deals. Don't forget, Obama thinks that global warming is our biggest threat. I happen to think it's nuclear warming. Our biggest threat is nuclear. And it's not global warming, it's nuclear warming. And I'll tell you what, we're going to work very hard on that situation because that situation is getting more and more and more out of control. And Hillary talks tough about Russia. And she talks tough about a lot of things. She has no clue. She talked tough about Libya. Look what happened there. She has no clue. She is unfit to be president because she has such bad judgment. Bernie Sanders said she has bad judgment. And I said, thank you, Bernie. I'm going to be using that for about 6 months after they take, look what happened with WikiLeaks. They took the election away from the guy. How can he be supporting her? They took that election away. It was a rigged system. The whole system is rigged. And that's why when the media does what they're doing now, that's rigging the system, folks. It's rigging the system. The election is rigged. It's rigged like you've never seen before. They're rigging the system. These are very dishonest people. So, folks, I love the people of North Carolina. I'm going to be back here a lot over the next 25 days. Can you believe it? 25. But you got to get out, and you got to get out and vote. You've got to get out and vote. Because we are going to make our country strong again. We're going to make our country rich again. We're going to make our country smart again. We're going to be a smart country again. And what else are we going to do? We're going to make our country great again. Thank you very much. God bless you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Joe Seals here, RSBN Studios in Auburn. We are going to be busy tomorrow as well, so make sure you tune in early tomorrow, noon Eastern Time in Portsmouth, New Hampshire at Toyota of Portsmouth. And then we're going to be in Bangor, Maine tomorrow at the Cross Insurance Center. RSBN will be there live with our camera, and we'll show you the crowd just like we did tonight, the only ones that ever show the crowd. Thanks, guys, for all the support. We certainly do appreciate all that you do for us, and the donations really help us so much out on the road. This stuff is not cheap, I can tell you that. We paid $1,800 for an internet connection tonight. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Thanks to Smart City Networks, I believe, for giving us a great bargain on the internet tonight of $1,800. But anyway, we really thank all of you guys for everything. This is going to be a very busy next 3 weeks. And we're going to be there every step of the way with you because of you and everything that you've done for us. rsbn.tv/donate. You'll be able to watch the debate live on RSBN next week, so make sure you tune in for that. Thank you again. I'm going to sign off. It's been a long day. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Don't forget to tune in to the Wayne Dupree Show coming up next here on RSBN. Award-winning Wayne Dupree Show. He will be live here in about 45 minutes. You don't want to miss it. Got some good stuff tonight from Wayne and the guys. See you in the morning.